Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a zone 4B, and it is my Sunday garden stroll. I'll try and do as much talking as I can. The only thing is it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. My dogs got me up, and it's just, windows are open, people are sleeping, so hopefully you can hear me. These containers are looking pretty good. I love the color of the pansies here. Love this. These are my colors, but it is definitely not liking. It likes a spot, but the sun does bounce off the siding here, and then it gets that, I would say from 2 o'clock until 6, 7 o'clock, that hot west sun. So not a full sun, but just it bakes here. So it's just yellowing, and it's been super windy. So they're still looking good. I do have plants for this, but I'm not ready yet to give up on these containers. Either that, or I can just lift them out. They're just in these pots here, and I can put them elsewhere. I just don't know where. I did trim up the yews here a good amount, you may not think, but anywhere that was close to the house, I'll give them another prune here later in the summer. But anything that was coming out there, and then yesterday, because it was it was windy, I weeded this. So I do have a lot of weeding to do. I'm just kind of choosing where it's most visible, which this is the front of my house. So I always work on that first. Pretty sure this is that Queen of the Night tulip? Isn't that gorgeous? These hardy geraniums are looking fantastic. These are ones I started from seed probably 4 years ago. They are getting some buds forming. But due to the mild winter we had, everything is just flourishing this year. And look at this tree. It's loaded in flowers, and it smells so wonderful. Palace purple heuchera. This almost entire garden was started from seed about 4 years ago. Jacob's ladder, pulmonium. Going to be starting here soon. That carpet of snow just kind of took over, but look at the color of this. Oh, looks like I broke that piece. I gotta get in there and get that. Lady's mantle is going to be going off here soon. Chantilly lace goat's beard is loaded in buds this year. And I did prune up really good around there too, so it's not covering it up. These are Sun King Aralias. And then the black lace elderberry is doing really good here. I did prune up around here, I mean both sides, but this one's gotten, I could probably trim that up. I repeat a lot because, well, Lady's Mantle, Alchemilla Mellis, is one of my favorite plants. I really plant a lot of what does good here. This garden looks great from afar, but I have so much weeding to do in here. When I got home from work yesterday, I pick and choose what has to be done, and on windy days, I always choose weeding. But the weeds in here and the grass I have to edge. But Spellbound heuchera. Just love this one. Pulmonaria lungwort is still looking great. The wind yesterday just wreaked havoc on a lot of this. This is just Dianthus carthusianorum. Seed I started last year. We'll see how I like it. It looks a little weedy to me. Nepeta I also started last year. I like it. I just don't know how I like this next to another purple bluish blooming plant. And then the purple and this color. So thinking on that. Again, just wind tossed, but full of buds. I'm gonna move this heuchera right over here. This is Georgia peach, just somewhere on the outside. And then I do have alliums that are planted in here. Purple sensation. Roses are looking good. Princess Alexandra of Kent is looking the best. So not much in this garden yet. A lot of weeding to do. Columbine, Aquilegia. I really can't get a good view of that. And the grasses. I love this. Climbing roses are doing good. They're budding up. Been working in this garden, moving a lot of plants. So, work in progress. Curly Fries hosta looks amazing. They're now talking rain probably the next week here, probably about 4 days worth, which is good. I might move this hosta here. It's getting crowded out. A lot of heuchera over here that I started from seed 2 years ago. This one looks amazing. I mean, you can see how many spikes are on that plant. Don't know the name. It was just a mix. But I love that color against the green. Yeah. It's just this is the south side, so the sun beats off the siding, and for some reason this year they're getting scorched more than last year. I used to have 2 huge trees that shaded this. This one I did not start from seed. I think this is spearmint. That one looks good too. But honestly, you really can't tell. Maybe, although I don't like the look of the leaves there. These are ones I also started from seed, but I trimmed these off. They're ugly. It's a goat spirit. Looks great. Lots of bloom stalks. Brunnera looks fantastic. Starting to go over. That got huge this year. I would say it's got to be close to 3 feet tall with the flower spikes. I've never had to get this tall. Like I said, a mild year. Everything's just flourishing. Something's a little too much. The sumac got some height to it finally. I did move some grasses over here. I had the Sun Kings here. I just knew they were going to get too big for this spot. Plus, I thought the Sun King Aurelia foliage looked very similar to the goat spear, so I think this is a nice contrast in texture. This container still looks really good with the kale, lettuce, alyssum, and then those pansies. I really like those colors. Another huge goat's beard. This has been here for a long time. I love bleeding hearts, but it is sad when they go dormant. But you really don't notice it because these hostas fill in as a summoned substance. And the bleeding heart, this one usually goes dormant probably about end of June or when the heat comes. Just lots of ferns down here. Japanese painted fern, crested surf. And then the Hakana clovegrass is doing really good this year. I just had, I think this is American Royal Fern. I had this in this container. I had 3. 2 made it. So now I want to plant something here. I won't in back because that does kind of get covered up. And actually, these might get covered up too. We'll see. Hostas are still kind of leafing out. Bridal Falls hosta looks amazing. Oh, love that one. This is Shrimp on the Barbie pulmonaria. With sweet woodruff. And then variegated Solomon seal over here. Let's see. Actually, I was going to show you one thing over here. I forgot. This is a different Solomon seal. I don't know the name of it. It just gets really tall. But look at that. Look at the arch on that. This is its 3rd year here, so it's really looking good. And usually the 3rd year, you definitely see a huge change in any of the shrubs, perennials. The sweet woodruff smells so good. And then the ajuga. I have a little fern in here, and I'm thinking I might move this and put it in that container with the other ferns because it's just going to get swallowed up. And honestly, I thought this was a goner last year. It just completely disappeared. And then it was back. This is Dancing Queen. This is an amazing hosta, just that color. I don't think anything else in my garden, any other hosta can compare to this color. Finally, these are waking up over here. But this is a really low spot back here, so things just gets a little more sun in the afternoon, but not much. I just have some hostas in there. I dug those up around my kennel. I may not keep them there. I just needed a holding spot until everything filled in. There are a lot of blue hostas, so not much contrast going on in that. Well, it's a old fire pit. This is Remember Me. I mean, again, this one looks the best. This is Marmalade Heuchera. This fern looks amazing. And the mosquitoes are out. Oof. So yeah, so lots of blue. I might replace it with a golder hosta for just a little contrast. And no, in my zone, I'm taking a chance. They probably will not come back next year, depending on the season we have. Another marmalade. This is a dwarf goat's beard. I did plant up some of my containers. simple, but I like it. When the wind comes through, it's just absolutely gorgeous, and that sun hits it and it shines. A lot of lily of the valley. I know, I love it, so I don't care. It is invasive, so plant it, don't plant it, up to you. But I love the scent, and it's just, I love it. This is Lamia, not so much on this one. This is this is a thug also, but those blooms are gorgeous, and the bees love it. So I just pull it, then I use cardboard to smother, and this is Henryi clematis. It's just doing so great here. I planted it last year, and look how well it's doing. I wasn't expecting this much growth out of it, and that many buds. Astilbes look great back here. This branch is hanging a bit lower than it did last year, so I might have to trim that up because these are a little taller. I don't like to do too much trimming on the pine tree. I love that weeping look. And look at that. I love pine trees. Just going to show you from this way. I know I'm going to go back there. Look, it's the start. It's honeysuckle. Camasias look fantastic here. They too will go dormant at some point. These are bulbs you plant in the fall. They like it wet, and then they'll disappear. I do have irises planted amongst them. I just hope they bloom a little bit more than what they have. Otherwise, I might just pull them and put something else. Golden Shadows, pagoda dogwood. So this is a tree that likes shade. And so you can see what happens when it gets a lot of sun, it scorches. So it is budding out. So just letting you know, if you are interested in this tree, it's a slow grower. It takes forever to actually get to this point. But I would say part shade would be perfect for it. And we've had a lot of moisture this year, so that's not its issue. Again, I had two massive trees that shaded it, so it loved its life here for the longest time. I did have that wheelbarrow here. I moved, or I have it still. I wasn't liking it, the flow and everything. I'm debating if I want this. I just put a daylily here. This is Nosferatu, just for the time being. Just kind of a holding spot, along with some ferns that were on my kennel. This is Godzilla. Love that color. The daylily, I don't know. But I didn't want another hosta here just because it gets a good amount of sun. That being said, yes, I do have lots of hostas here, but this is party streamers. Isn't that amazing? Anthos valerian, and that's with a V, and looks amazing. So it does self-seed, just not a whole lot. So from the time that I've had it, it's seeded down there and there, and I love it so much, and I'm leaving it. So it's probably going to get a little tall here, so that I will move when it's done blooming, because it's going to bloom. I have an idea where I want to put that, so it does get tall, so it's not a good spot for it, because that tree will block it. Just gonna go over here real quick. I'm working in this area. I do have roses down here that I put. I think this is Queen of Sweden. And then I know I'm gonna plant some stuff here, just some of my seed starts. I am not keeping that hosta. That's going to a different home. And then it's not finished. I just put some of these pelargoniums here. They're all the same, salmon color. I grew these. Others, there's no way I could afford this. I went plant shopping yesterday, and holy cow. So glad I can grow most of my plants. Cosmos here. I think this is apricot lemonade, something like that. So we'll see. Just keeping it simple in there. Oh, here's a prettier color. Yeah, I probably put them out sooner than what I should. Look at the backside. They're just kind of doing that, but all that top growth, it looks really good. Sabaria sorbifolia sem. I cut it back good in the spring here, so we'll see how tall this actually gets this year. My niece, one of her classes, she was in a flower class, and they had a plant sale, and so they planted up all these pots, and they were able to take one home. So this is the one she picked, and actually I love these colors. So I'm taking care of it. Isn't that gorgeous? It smells so good. This is a Durvilla. I just forget what it's called. Oh, look at the Father Gila. Looks good. I guess these still look really good. This will stay here for a bit. I'm not in a hurry to plant this up. Oh, mosquitoes are out over here. All right, I'm gonna lots of cut flowers. Doing pretty good. They're starting to get a little bit bigger. And then planted up some more. And here, this is frosted explosion grass. Oh, look. I was going to give up on this grass. It looks so tough. Still does, but look at how it's just branching out. A lot of status. Rhubarb has been amazing. Planted some zinnias back here. I think this is Senorita. They will get much taller. Clematis looks great. Some is going in the front, so I have to figure out how to pull it back, but I don't know. I might just put another obelisk there and it can climb up that way. This is goat's beard in a container. So again, I take a chance with it overwintering. That's just the winter we had. I would compare it to between a 5 and a 6. Okay, I'm gonna make this quick back here. Very sorry if it's shaky. The mosquitoes are out horribly. Ajuga looks good down here. Fancy finch. This is a feathered Ferns line, just starting. I love that contrast with the foliage and the blooms. Britt Marie Crawford, Ligularia. Love that. Probably should add some more. Just do a little bit, but everything is still filling in. I just have to be patient. I think this is a coralberry. This is massive this year. So happy. It's so pretty in the fall. Underrated shrub until fall, and then you gotta have it. I do have tiny wine 9 barks that are budding up. Very happy. So yes, then I got another coralberry. They're just in like these little quart containers. So I have one there just to kind of pull that over. And then you can see it. And I planted it here because these camasias were dormant and I didn't realize. So there's that other one. Yeah, I might move that. I have a lot of weeding to do. This is the problem that I'm dealing with in this garden and that other front kind of side garden with the roses. is the creeping bellflower, and that is that all over in here. So I have to get in here, figure it out. I might move the mulch, lay cardboard, and try and smother it. This is loaded in buds. I cannot wait. Whoa. Do you see how far up that's going? Okay. The peony's doing pretty good back here. I was gonna move it. I'm like, you know what? I like the foliage on peonies. It's because when they're done, it still leaves really nice foliage. Some plants, when they're done, you're like, ew. Yeah. Oh, I'm so bummed by the scorching. And no, I cannot move this. This tree has been here for at least 12 years. If I were to move it, it would die. So if it's gonna die, I'll just let it do it slowly and on its own. I can just enjoy it in the process. I really don't feel like digging that out either. I do all of the gardening by myself. I do the mowing, weed whipping, so if things are a little not kept up, it's because I work 6 days a week too, which I'm kind of feeling right now. But I keep telling myself, it's only the start of planting season here in Minnesota, so just relax. I'm hoping by the end of May, I can pretty much have most everything done. And with rain coming up, I'd like to get a lot of stuff planted. Lupins look fantastic. So just letting you know, this isn't just one plant. There's 3 plants in here, and this is its 3rd year. Cannot wait. Oh, those mosquitoes. This is why now I wish we had a little wind. Look at this clematis. It is the year of clematis. One is Nellie Moser, and then there's a delicate one on here that's Princess Kate. Holy cow. Lots of purple sensation alliums. I love it. Maybe not the foliage so much, but hey, you can't beat those statuesque blooms. Penstemon, onyx and pearls. I love that color. This is just one plant down here of a lupin. These are all plants I started from seed here, the lupins. So, and then another one over here. I think there's 2 in this one, and it's starting. Just gonna turn over here real quick. This is just straw flowers in here, and then I think I'm gonna plant the celosia in the front here. I have to get it staked up. That is something that I'm working on. I don't have an unbelievable system. I have some red twig dogwoods I had in my winter containers that I might use. Look, the kohlrabi is starting to do really good. I just sunk the containers in here because I was tired of them blowing over. I got my tomatoes planted, marigolds, and then these birds will not leave. These are shallots. They will not leave them alone. Because I'm sure they pull that out. And there's more. I'll get to that. This right here is a Pacific Giant delphinium, 1 plant. I mean, this is where if I was on camera, you would see how big it is. It is just a beast. I have a peony down here. So happy to see 2 really nice sized buds. That was in a garden where it just flooded and it rotted and a little piece lived. So it's been in like rehab. This is a Julia Rose Etopini, but the delphinium is like encroaching in on it. So when this is done, I might split that because I won't move peonies. They are so touchy. So I try and find the spot they're going to be in, and it's their forever home. This one looks amazing. I really have that one staked up. That's just too big for the support. Love that one. It's gonna be soon. It's just, this Baptisia looks fantastic. I do have a support here just to help keep it upright. It's part of the pea family. It's just not edible. I love grasses. That is the one thing you will see in most of my gardens. Can you believe this? It's starting. I'm like, I love tree peonies, and they are gorgeous, but the blooms never last long. But aren't they look at the size. Like, I have a lot of delphiniums in here, not a Pacific Giants in there though. I see why that gets its name. Roses are looking really good back here. Also easy double red rose. It's an extremely easy rose. It takes probably 3 to 4 years for it to look good, and then it's a no-brainer. Look at the lilac. This is a bloomerang lilac. But with all that rain coming, I hate when the lilacs bloom because they just don't last long. Yep, I got a lot of stuff going on over here. I did plant some cosmos down here, and this is fizzy white. So I'm hoping it gets nice and tall back here with the other tall perennials. Oh, look. And then my rose is making a comeback over here. So it's got a cane down here looking good. I'm liking what I see. And then again, I'm just leaving this in here, just kind of holding this side in because it's a beast on the other side. William Baffin is the name, but it is sending off a shoot here and then there. So not dead, just, and look. When this is done blooming here, I will come in and prune this up a little bit more, but it is just going to be gorgeous. Look, isn't that beautiful? This one is first, and then I gave this a really hard trim last year. Probably could have done a little bit more. I'm going to have to do more on the side here because this hydrangea here is getting covered up, and then I'm going to have to come in and give this a prune too. I say that, but if it happens, we'll see. And then this one's next, and then the Miss Kim is the last one down there. They look amazing. I think trees and shrubs and everything this year has it's almost doubled, if not tripled in size. Lots of seedlings of mine. This is the ornamental oregano. The celosia looks great. And then look at this. This is a seed dahlia. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, I think it's like a fuchsia red, but then a dark stem here. I love that. This, I thought it was going to be the same color as this. It was a mix, but that one's a little more purple. So it's really fun when you see what they look like. Work in progress. Look, the Bevan's variety hardy geranium. And then the scent of geraniums, I love it. It's very herbal smelling, but I mean, it's just gorgeous. And this is a bee magnet. So it is really early in the morning. So they are not out yet. This is an Aquilegia columbine I started 3-4 years ago, and I'm surprised it lived. I don't remember the name though, but it is gorgeous. I had a lot in here, that's why I was surprised to see that one. This is a really little one down here. Oops. So the delphiniums this year, I don't know, they're just not complaining, but this is a bleeding heart that just blooms throughout the whole season. I might move that into an area that gets a little less sun. They say it can take the sun, but it struggles. Lamb's ear is doing pretty good. I'm going to come in and kind of remove some of that clump there, just to give this a little more room in here. Otherwise, I'm kind of liking where this is at. It's just last year, so where you see black ground, that's the whole area that it took up. So it is a bit of a thug. So I have to stay on top of that. Otherwise, it does some other plants. This is a fern peony. They're gorgeous. I think overly priced, honestly, for as long as what they bloom. I do not have these in a support, but there are some plants that are supporting it. I got this from a friend, 2 clumps. So all I know is a while back when I was just kind of looking at plants, for just one little stem, they were wanting $40. Just, to me, overly priced. This is an Amsonia, and it is going to be beautiful. All those little buds in there. I have found Amsonia takes a long time for it to establish and bloom. It took 4 years. I planted some Nicotiana here. Yes, I know it's in a straight line, but I didn't have another choice. So it can fill in here and just be, it's kind of a see-through plant. I don't like planting in too straight of lines, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And then I just don't know where I want to put that. I really don't. And I wouldn't mind planting something else here that are seedlings of mine. This is an aster, so I might move this one over here to give a little more room. I don't know yet. And then this is Veronica down here. Look at this. Georgia peach. This gets a lot of sun. It's gorgeous, and it can take it. And then the Strantia looks great. Some more so. This is like a little tighter, the little smaller leaf. And then look at this. More Veronica. I love. And then I have more Veronica back there too. I love it. It's one of my favorite perennials. Okay. I was just looking at the clematis over here. And then I know I'm going to be moving that. I will be moving this hosta. I have plans. And I know this is a low area, but I'll probably be treating this more like just an annual garden, cutting garden, just a little bit. But I'm thinking maybe a shrub here. I don't know what. But I would just come out just a little bit here to give it some room. I want something blooming a little bit later in the season. That's all. But then I'm hoping, I like to do it when it's drier, so it's been pretty wet. Just even this hour, just come out just a little bit. This is gorgeous here. This is, I think, Litchfield Angel. And that one's doing really good. And I do want to plant something around here. This container, I think I'm just going to move like over here. I'm still playing with that area. Sweet peas are looking pretty good. I'm just growing some shrooms here. So I have compost on here just top dressed, so just figure that'll help with it being a heavy feeder. I think that's everything. I mean, I've got enough blooming, I think. Just a little smattering, and then every week a little something more, which I absolutely love in perennial gardens. It's to me, they're restful. All right, so hopefully enjoyed, and bye for now.